Hello everyone, this is Chris9017 and I'm going to make a review of the Echo Toys Moguls. Yeah, these are cheap and cheery little locomotives, as AG, can't remember the rest of his username was, but he said these are cheap and cheerful locomotives, and they are based off the LGB Mogul, Denver, South Park, and Pacific number 71 and number 18. Yeah. There are a lot of things to shout about these from accurate point of views, but there are a lot of things to like about these as well. For one thing, they don't have a chuffer, and they don't have an operating bell. But it's a toy train. It's not meant to be fully authentic. And some might complain that there's too much plastic brass and there's too much plastic on them, but hey, they're toy trains. You can't really expect the most accuracy. I mean, as far as toy trains go, Echo is probably top of the list. Yeah, Echo's probably the best you'll get. Whoops. Yeah, I almost lost the tender there. She almost fell off the sorry about that. Now, this tender is driven off C batteries, 6 C batteries, and they're right here in the tender box. Yeah, Duracell and Alkaline, probably the two best batteries you'll find. There we go. And as you can see on the back, it does not have the single switch where it's, just on and off. It has this switch up here, which is a sequential switch, which is forward, off, reverse, off. Yeah, as it says, stop, forward, stop, reverse, and it keeps going. And yeah, it's just a stupid sticker that says, please remove batteries when they are not in use. Well, you don't really have to do that. It's just an extra safety precaution they do just to be on the safe side. And there's the speaker grill, which I'm not sure what that is about, but I believe it's on later models that are, or some earlier models that were radio control, where you'd speak into a handheld radio and say forward. It would pick it up from the speaker and the engine would go forward. Yet, at the same time, I heard that doesn't really work too well, so you're better off just putting the buttons for forward and backwards. Yeah. I fixed up the drawbar. It was broken in half, so I glued it back in place and turned it upside down, because right way up it was missing, it was kind of scratched, so I turned it around so it looks better. And this grill, Penny F9 says it looks terrible. Honestly, I tend to disagree. And it looks pretty good in black. It's like a safety guide rail. Yeah, and honestly, the builder's plates here look much better, since they're a lot more authentic looking and a lot more old-fashioned in terms of the wording. It looks more like casting rather than sticker. And here's the bell, which turns the whistle on and off. Yeah, it's an air-operated whistle. Yeah, and yeah, the plastic here is a lot stronger now. The plastic tends to harden once after it melts and recools. What happened was somebody probably left it out in the sun for a little too long, and it caused the boiler to melt and ripple a little bit. And once it cooled down, it hardened, and when that happens, it gets extra hard. See, it looks pretty cool. I like it. The engine works just fine, as we saw in another video. It actually runs great. Honestly, I like the way this engine performs just as well as I like the old one. Or the older one, the 97 model. Of course, I have a 90, which I donated to my Ford dealer. It's on display. That engine was just terrible. It couldn't run. Oi, oi, oi. This is a wonderful locomotive. As we could see here, it's got a door on the back. Some people say take that door away. Honestly, it's a toy train. I mean, Echo did what they did. Yeah. Someone took the engineer and fireman out of this one, or it didn't come with an engineer and fireman. That's my guess. This thing here, it's a little too loose. I mean, height-wise, it should be up here. But it keeps falling down there because this was made a little too long. So I have to put in some kind of spacer, or shim spacer there to stop it and have it at the right height. And as you can see, these are nice looking wheels. They're gray. On the box they're actually silver, but they're a nice gray color. They're not too flashy. I mean, this is good to go around a Christmas tree for little kids. I mean, it's a 2007 and it's great for putting around a Christmas tree. In all honesty. Oh shoot. Hate it when the camera does this. My Android pre-thinks too much. It puts in words before I try to type in the right words. It puts the wrong words in for me. And I don't like that. And it puts camera close-ups on me, which I don't like that. So Android should know that that automatically doing things for you isn't really the right way. Yeah. Yeah, it was made for Christmas, as you could see here. Nice ribboning. Yeah, I love this thing. It actually looks similar to LGB's White Pass and Yukon Route Mogul, but without a snowplow and in the place a red cow catcher. And it kind of looks like an older version of the Polar Express locomotive. That was a 284 Berkshire type locomotive built by Lima, whereas this is an older 260 Mogul made by Cook in the 1880s. Overall, as a rating, I would give this engine, for little kids, you should get a 10 out of 10. Because little kids would just have a blast with this. They could run it forever. They would be constantly captured hearing the sound of the bell. I mean, the sound of the whistle going off. The air whistle. It has a lot of beautiful plastic brass. I mean, it really recaptures authenticity of an old steam engine. Yeah, little kids would love this. For a teenager's point of view, I'd probably give it a 7. I'd probably give it a 7 as for a teenager's point of view, since some teenagers may find it cool, but not too much worth of something to keep operating as a main primary locomotive for train layout. And I'm speaking for teenage train nuts, that is. Yeah, teenage train nut, I'd give it a 7. Because if they were looking for authenticity, they'd have to, I would say, get an LGB Mogul. But if you don't have that kind of money, and this is what you can afford, yeah, I'd give this a 7. And for adults, I'd probably give it an 8.5. Because adults are more looking into authenticity, but when they find something like this, they wouldn't really want to throw it away. They'd want to keep it, and yet they'd want to bring it out every now and then. And if they collect only diesel or only electric and don't really have steam, this would sort of give them a good change and really give them a chance to experience something different, which is why I give it an 8.5 for adults. Yeah, it's a nice little engine. I say I'm quite pleased with it. It's not too heavy. Yeah. It's about the same size as an LGB Mogul and Scientific Toys Mogul. Yeah, the Scientific Toys Moguls, I believe, are knockoffs of these and wannabe versions. They aren't nearly as good. They're not accurately detailed. They have electric sounds which aren't bad, but exterior-wise, they don't look too good. And they're obnoxiously expensive. Ugh! I mean, they're made of cheaper quality plastic than these engines are. I mean, at least this gives you the chance you could switch out the bell for an LGB model and the whistle would still work. You just can't turn it off. Whereas the on-off switch on a Scientific Toys Mogul, this would be on-off for the sound unit, and you'd really have no control. As for the tender bogies, a lot of people have been complaining about these, tending to steer their own way and getting caught and stuck. I have never had that kind of problem. And some people say these wheels are crap. I don't think so. I haven't had a problem with them. Some people say they derail. I haven't had that problem. Yeah. I think Echo has done a great job. And they're trying to stage a comeback with this being a 2007 model. And it's a pretty good model. And I intend to use it on a garden railroad I have in Los Angeles when I move down there and get a house. Along with some of my more expensive engines. To sort of blend everything together. Have the cheap and cheerful, everything in between, and the more expensive high-end, high-performance trains. And the thing is, I only collect steam. I've never had an interest for diesels. I do like some of the old Zephyr-type diesels, but they're ghastly expensive. More than that of some of the high-performance steam engines I've got. I'm sort of getting off topic. So, overall, yeah. Kids, this is a 10 out of 10. And if you're looking for a good Christmas or birthday present for your son or daughter, this would be worth getting. It would be worth about $50, and it would be worth every last penny. For teens, it's a 7. Because teens who really like trains would want to be more into more authenticity, but on the other hand, they also like trains and would find this pretty cool to run from time to time. And adults, I would give it an 8 because it brings them back fond memories, and they'd like to bring it out and run it quite a bit often and find them pretty fun to run. Well, that's it for now. This is Chris9017, out. I'm pretty happy with this little engine.